What if I told you there's a place 20 minutes from the Las Vegas Strip where you can kayak to breakfast, watch sunset over private lake from your backyard, and never see a single slot machine? Most people have no idea this place exists, and the ones who do, they're split into two camps. Camp 1 thinks Lake Las Vegas is the best kept secret in Nevada real estate. Camp 2 thinks it's an overpriced mirage that looks better on Instagram than it does on a spreadsheet. Today, I'm settling this debate once and for all. I'm going to show you exactly what you get for the premium price tag, what the HOA fees actually cover, and most importantly, the 3 types of buyers who absolutely love it here versus the 2 types who regret moving within the first year. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which camp you belong to. Before we dive in, if you're watching this and you're seriously considering Lake Las Vegas or anywhere else in Henderson, I want you to know my door is open. People reach out to me every single week. Sometimes they're still in California crunching numbers. Sometimes they're landing in Vegas next month and need boots on the ground. Wherever you're at in the process, I'm happy to give you the real talk. No pressure, no pitch. All right, let's get into what makes Lake Las Vegas one of the most unique communities in all of Nevada. First, let's clear up what Lake Las Vegas actually is because there's a lot of confusion. Lake Las Vegas is a 3,600 acre master plan community built around a 320 acre private lake. The lake is man-made, fed by water rights from the Las Vegas Wash, and it's the largest privately owned lake in the state of Nevada. This isn't a community with a pond and a fountain that the HOA calls a lake. This is a legitimate body of water where residents kayak, paddleboard, and some of them have private docks with boats. When I tell people from out of state about this, they don't believe me. A lake in the desert? 20 minutes from Vegas? Yeah, it's real. The community was developed starting in the late 80s and 90s with a vision to create Mediterranean resort-style destination. And honestly, they pulled it off. You've got terracotta roofs, stucco fascias, palm-lined streets, and architecture that genuinely looks like it belongs in the Italian or Spanish coast. Now here's what most people don't realize. Lake Las Vegas isn't just residential. There are 2 major resort hotels here, the Westin, the Hilton, plus a village center with restaurants, shops, and event spaces. This means you're living in a place that has actual resort infrastructure, not a subdivision that calls itself resort style. All right, let's talk about what daily life actually looks like here, because this is where Lake Las Vegas either hooks you or loses you. The centerpiece is obviously the lake itself. Residents have access for kayaking, paddleboarding, and non-motorized watercraft. Some waterfront homes have private docks where you can launch right from your backyard. Imagine this, it's Saturday morning, you wake up, grab your coffee, walk to your back door, and you're on the water before most people have even checked their emails yet. That's the actual lifestyle for residents who live on or near the waterfront. Then you've got Reflection Bay Golf Club. This is a Jack Nicklaus signature course that Golf Digest has ranked among the best in Nevada. If you're a golfer, this alone might be worth the premium. We're talking a championship level course in your backyard, not some municipal afterthought. The Village at Lake Las Vegas is your walkable downtown. Restaurants, a gelato shop, live music on weekends, and seasonal events. It's small, but it's curated. And because the hotels bring in tourists, there's enough foot traffic to keep businesses alive. This isn't some ghost town amenity center that closes at 6 p.m. For fitness and wellness, you've got hiking and biking trails throughout the community, plus the lake itself for water-based exercises. The desert mountain backdrop means your morning jog doesn't look like every other suburban sidewalk. Now, I want to be real with you about something though. Lake Las Vegas is quieter than the core Henderson communities. There's no Target 5 minutes away, and there's no Costco around the corner. The vibe here is intentionally slower, more retreat-like. For some people, that's the entire point. And for others, it feels isolated. We'll get into who this works for and who it doesn't in a minute. Let's talk about what your money actually buys here because Lake Las Vegas has more range than people realize. This isn't exclusively a millionaire's playground. There are entry points and there are dream homes. At the entry level, you've got condos and townhomes starting in the high 300s to low 500,000s. These are typically in the villas or similar developments. You're getting access to all the same amenities, the lake, the village, the golf course, just in a smaller footprint. For a California buyer used to paying $700,000 for a condo with no amenities, this is genuinely compelling. Mid-range, you're looking at single-family homes from the mid-500s to around $800,000. These give you 3 to 4 beds, maybe a small backyard or courtyard, and that Mediterranean architecture. You're not on the waterfront, but you're in the community with full access to everything. Then you've got the premium tier. Waterfront homes, custom estates from 1 million up to 5 million plus. This is where you get the private docks, the unobstructed lake views, the 5-car garages, the outdoor kitchens overlooking the water. If you've seen Lake Las Vegas on TV or in magazines, this is probably what they showed you. Here's what I tell my clients. The entry and mid-range options at Lake Las Vegas compete directly with similar price points in Summerlin or Anthem. The difference is you're trading proximity to retail and schools for a completely different lifestyle. That trade-off is worth it for some and not for others. Know which one you are before buying. All right, let's address the elephant in the room. Lake Las Vegas costs more. Not just in home prices, but in ongoing costs. And I think you deserve to know exactly where that money goes. HOA fees here are higher than typical Henderson communities. Depending on which sub-association you're in, you might be looking at $400 to over $1,000 per month. That sounds aggressive until you understand what it covers. First, lake maintenance. Keeping a 320-acre lake clean, safe, and swimmable in the desert isn't cheap. Water treatment, shoreline, maintenance, ecosystem management, that's a full-time operation. Second, resort level landscaping and common areas. The medians, the walking paths, the village center, the parks, all of that is maintained to a standard you don't see in typical HOAs. They're not just cutting grass, they're preserving a brand. Third, amenity access. Your HOA covers access to the lake, many of the trails, and community facilities. Some associations include fitness centers or pools. Fourth, security. Lake Las Vegas has controlled access points. You're not in a guard-gated neighborhood within a larger community. The entire community is access controlled. Now, is it worth it? Here's my honest take. If you use the amenities, if you're on the lake weekly, if you golf, if you're walking the trails, if you're dining at the village, then yes, you're getting value. If you're someone who works 60 hours a week and just wants a nice house to sleep in, you're paying for the lifestyle and not the living. So who should seriously consider Lake Las Vegas? After working with dozens of buyers in this community, here are the 3 profiles who love it. Profile 1. The active retiree or empty nester. You've raised your kids, you're done with school zone concerns, and you want lifestyle. Golf, kayaking, morning walks with mountain views. Lake Las Vegas was basically designed for you. The slower pace isn't a bug, it's the feature. Profile 2, the remote worker who wants vacation mode every day. You work from home, your job is location independent, and you want your daily environment to feel like an escape. Your commute is from the bedroom to the home office. Why not make that home office overlook a lake instead of a strip mall parking lot? This profile is growing fast, especially among California transplants. Profile 3, the second home buyer or investor. Lake Las Vegas has a built-in rental market because of the resorts and tourists. A tastefully done property here can generate income where you're not using it and serve as your desert retreat when you are. If you're looking at this as a lifestyle investment, the math can work. On the flip side, here's who should probably look elsewhere. Skip it if you have school-age kids and schools are non-negotiable. You can make it work, but you either are driving a lot or compromising. Anthem and Inspirada will serve you much better. Skip it if you need immediate convenience. If a 20-minute drive to Target will frustrate you, this isn't your place. Lake Las Vegas is a destination, not a hub. Skip it if you won't use the amenities. I said it before, but bears repeating. You're paying a premium for a lifestyle. If you're not living that lifestyle, you're just paying extra for pretty views. Pretty views aren't worth $800 a month in HOA fees if the lake might as well be a photo on your wall. Bottom line, Lake Las Vegas is one of the most unique communities in Nevada. There is literally nothing else like it. If the lifestyle fits how you actually live, not how you imagine living in some idolized future, then yes, it's worth every penny. You're not overpaying, you're buying something scarce. But if you're chasing an aesthetic, if you like the idea of Lake Las Vegas more than the reality of it, you'll feel the premium every time you write a check for the HOA. The right buyer falls in love here and never looks back. The wrong buyer lasts 18 months and lists the home with a story about wanting to be closer to everything. Be honest with yourself about which one you'll be. If Lake Las Vegas sounds like your speed, you need to understand how it compares to the other master plan options in Henderson. Check out this video where I break down Cadence versus Inspirada, 2 communities that offer a completely different lifestyle at different price points. And if you're still figuring out what's right for you, drop a comment below telling me what's the most important: lifestyle, schools, commute, or price. I read every single one. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'm putting out new Henderson content every week to help you make this decision with confidence. I'll see you on the next one.